Anthony Joshua should not get in the way of Fury and Joshua. Really, in my view, it's an absolute joke. It shouldn't be sanctioned. I really don't believe it should be sanctioned. I have a sneaking suspicion that it would be a very big fight. But the biggest thing is us rubbernecking to actually see if they do get to the point where they step in the ring together. Because Jake Paul's an area level fighter, a British area level fighter, and Anthony Joshua is still a killer and a live heavyweight. That should not be sanctioned anywhere in the world, in my view.
It's dangerous, mate.
Very dangerous.
It brings the sport into disrepute. The people that are talking about organising that, they should have a real hard look at themselves. Because
but even Eddie Hearn's kind of teasing he doesn't like it, but you can see the glimpse of dollars.
There's no price. There is no price.
There shouldn't be.
There's absolutely no price on the planet in order to make that.
Back when Paul was still cutting his teeth in boxing, Joshua offered what many considered a surprisingly cordial endorsement. In a 2025 interview, when asked about Paul, Joshua simply said he's good for boxing. That early comment showed Joshua's willingness to acknowledge Paul's role in elevating public interest in the sport, even if many doubted Paul's long-term prospects. Fast forward to the present. The fight is no longer hypothetical, and the stakes have soared. Paul, now 12-1 with 7 KOs, steps into the biggest challenge of his career. Joshua, a former unified world heavyweight champion, enters with a 28-4 record.
Fight Anthony Joshua now. How do you think that's going to go?
Man, Anthony Joshua, I don't know why I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. No disrespect to Jake Paul, I think Anthony Joshua would knock him out. I'm staying like within like 2-3 rounds.
Yeah.
You saw what Anthony Joshua did to Francis Ngannou?
Yeah.
Come on, I never seen Francis get knocked out.
Yeah, that was huge too.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
huge.
both huge.
Yeah, he's huge. But you got to hear the story. You got to get Francis Ngannou in here and hear this story though.
I'd love to.
Bro, he was set up though, for real. I
On
believe
that
him.
fight?
Yeah, I believe him. Cause here's what they do. Like what sometimes what people don't understand. Like in boxing too, I don't know a whole lot about boxing. You know, when you fight for promotion, they promote that fighter. So he's fighting in Saudi Arabia. So they was probably fighting at 3 a.m. and they had him in the locker room since like 12 o'clock.
In their first public face-off during the November 21st press conference, Joshua didn't mince words. He emphasized the professionalism of the bout, calling it massive, colossal, and a high-profile sporting event that blends marketability with genuine skill. He warned that his focus is solely on the fight no mercy. At the same press conference for their December 19 showdown, Paul was asked what he expected to weigh. He explained that he'd been cutting weight for a different fight, which made the jump to heavyweight even more challenging. He estimated he would come in somewhere between 215 and 225 pounds.
Nothing negative. He's here to do his job. I could sit up here, as I said, and try and address all the things that Jake doesn't do good. But I'm fighting Jake that's going to do everything good on December 19th. So let me focus on that. He's a good person, does his thing, great team around him, puts in the work, and that's why he's sitting here now. Anyone out there in the world that works harder than the next person deserves to be a front runner, and he's a front runner in the boxing game right now.
Respect. Jake, can I ask, it feels to me from afar, you're in a bit of a lose-lose here, because it seems like a lot of people want to see you get obliterated, right? A lot of people want to see you get your comeuppance. And if you do pull off the upset, or if this fight goes the distance, again, the whispers will start to come. People will discredit you. People will say, this, that, and the other about the fight. How do you balance that, and how do you deal with that?
Man, I've already won at every single thing in life. I'm playing on house money. I've accomplished all my dreams, said everything I was going to do, from becoming, the first influencer to become an actor on Disney, to becoming the biggest YouTuber in the world, to rising to the top of boxing and having the largest viewed fight in the history of the sport. I've accomplished everything, so this is a win-win and another challenge for myself. I've never been knocked down or knocked out even in sparring, but I'm in a sport where that happens, and I know this is dangerous, but this is no different than a soccer player, losing in the World Cup on the biggest stage. If that's how it goes, if I take one of those punches that Francis Ngannou took and I'm on the canvas, let's see how tough I am. Let's see if I can get back up. But I'm ready for that. I'm prepared for that mentally, and I know that he has to deal with me as well. This is not as one-sided fight as people think, and I have power. I have the ability to put people to sleep, and so that's why I took this challenge. And I know it's crazy and all of that, but I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited. My team's excited, and everyone believes in me, and that's all that matters.
How much do you expect to weigh on fight night?
Man, I was cutting down for Gervonta, so it's been a little tough getting back up in some strength for this, but anywhere 215 to 225, we'll see.
Okay, and I want to clear something up with you, AJ. I saw in the press release that it said that on weigh-in day, you can't weigh above 245, but post weigh-ins, you can weigh whatever you want. There's no rehydration clause or anything like that. Is that accurate?
Whatever it says, yeah, I think that's the case. But my focus, 111 kilograms is what I got to weigh in at, right? I do kilograms, not
Yeah,
pounds.
I don't know. You stumped me on that one. What is 111? Should I look it up?
245.
Jake Paul says his fight is his moment to silence every critic who claims he only picks smaller or washed-up opponents. He argues that by facing Anthony Joshua, a true heavyweight and former world champion, he's finally proving he can compete at the highest level. According to Paul, when I beat Joshua, every doubt disappears. No one can deny me. The Jake Paul versus Anthony Joshua matchup is a fully sanctioned professional heavyweight bout under the Marquis of Queensberry rules. It will be 8 rounds of 3 minutes each, with both fighters wearing 10-ounce gloves. Joshua must weigh in at no more than 245 pounds, adding a strict limit to maintain competitiveness. A loss in this winter clash will count on each fighter's professional record. This is a real deal.
Fight a real boxer. They said, fight someone your size. They said, fight a world champion. We looked at a long list of supposed fighters for me to fight. The world. Make no mistake, this is the biggest fight of my career. I'm walking into the lion's den. I'm doing something that no one else has ever done before. I, Jake Joseph Paul, will knock out, defeat, and embarrass Anthony Joshua Friday, December 19th, live on Netflix. My voice cracked, I'm still going through puberty. The biggest fight of 2025, USA versus UK. He's got the belts, the size, the history, but I have the balls. Be careful what you wish for. Jake versus Joshua, Judgment Day. He has a 90% knockout ratio, but I have a 100% chance of
Teddy Atlas has a cautiously intrigued take on the fight. While he warns that the matchup may be a step too far for Paul given the massive gap in class and experience, he doesn't dismiss it entirely. He points to Joshua's recent knockout loss and extended layoff, suggesting that Ghost in his attic could make him vulnerable. Even while acknowledging that Joshua is still the more skilled and powerful puncher, Atlas is curious to see what version of AJ shows up on fight night.
Having said all of that, this might be a step too far. Now, when I say it, I'm also, I try to be responsible. I've been in this game 50 years, so I know where not to step, where you could twist an ankle, or worse, you could break a leg or fall down. When I say that with the understanding, too, that Joshua's coming off being knocked out. Joshua hasn't fought for a year, right? But it's about a year. And there's some ghost in his attic. There are. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if he's gotten rid of some of them, but I know that in the position of a fighter coming where he's coming from, there are ghosts in your attic. I don't know if those ghosts are still taking up space. I don't know if maybe there could be no better exorcism for those ghosts than fighting a Jake Paul. That might be just the exorcism you need to clear out the attic. I don't know. That's the problem. We don't know. That's the mystery part of this. That's what makes it so, it makes it two things at once. Intriguing.
Ryan Garcia discusses the potentially life-changing impact a loss could have on Jake Paul. He stresses that Joshua's power is not to be underestimated and that a defeat could affect Paul physically, professionally, and reputationally. Garcia argues that the experience could be transformative, highlighting the immense challenge Paul faces. He emphasizes that Joshua's punching power and technical ability make this a serious test, and the consequences of failure are very real. Preparation, discipline, and total awareness will be crucial for Paul to survive the threats Joshua brings into the ring. One major concern surrounding the matchup is Joshua's inactivity. AJ has had only 2 fights in the past 2 years. Following his split decision loss to Alexander Usyk in 2022, his schedule has become increasingly sporadic.
Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua? By far? Yeah. Too easy. Why did he take that fight? I think he didn't have no opponents and he wanted to make Netflix happy and he I think he made a misstep. I think he was handling his career perfectly. I
Yeah.
think he would have beat Gervonta.
I think he would have beat Gervonta too.
But I think this is a big misstep. I think he let his ego get in from him and let